Hi, I'm John from Just Whiskey. If you like today's show, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And consider becoming a Patreon with the link in the description below. And thanks so much for the Patreons that I do have that believe in me and help support this channel. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And remember, folks, it's just whiskey. And before we start the review, a quick little quiz, see if anybody can figure out this t-shirt. Okay, it says JAFB, and it's from the Worcester Brewery in Worcester, Ohio. Okay, I visited there several years ago and I bought this shirt. So if anybody can figure out what these letters stand for, it's a little bit PG-13, if that's a hint. All right, back to the review. Today we are going to be reviewing and talking about, as I promised from the previous review, we're going to be reviewing the Glenmorangie Allta. Okay, it's an NAS. This is the 10th anniversary. It comes in at 51.2%, non-chill filtered, no mention of coloring. It is an NAS. You can compare it to the coloring of the 10-year-old. The Allta is slightly darker. Okay, so we don't know about coloring. The Glenmorangie Allta is matured in first and second fill ex-bourbon, so no sherry. And it's a 10th anniversary, bottled in 2018. Yep. And Dr. Bill Langston, what he did was he found this previously unidentified yeast strain that was growing on the barley, they call it their own barley, which is the fields are near the distillery, so I think they own these or have rights to them. And so Bill Langston found this wild yeast that was previously unidentified, and he identified it and chose to incorporate it into this release right here. And in his words, he says the end result is distinctively different from their house style. I think that's debatable, and we're going to get into that a little bit. And I obviously have my own nosing and tasting notes, but I feel a need to read his description, or the Glenmorangie's description of it, because I don't really disagree with anything that they say on here, and it's the verbiage is better than I can do. But we're going to go into my full independent review. But what they say here, which I do not disagree with a single word of it. This pale golden single malt has a rounded nose of biscuit tones, light floral notes, and baking bread, alongside hints of vanilla, raisins, and mandarin orange. Crisp citrus textures lead to taste of butter candy, more creamy vanilla, and orange syrup with yeast in the background. Gentle mint and a suggestion of sweet chili before a long, earthy finish, shedding light on an aspect of distillery for so long overlooked. Glenmorangie Allta is a beacon for the future of Scotch whiskey. I know I stuttered and skipped a couple of times there, but you know, it's rare that you find something that actually you can relate to, and actually it's not too crazy and outlandish stories on there. And so this is going to kind of not conclude my Glenmorangie by any journey by any means, but an upcoming review. I have a nice oversized sample set, and I will be comparing and contrasting these 4 releases in a sample set. Not sure if I'm going to do them blind or not, but they will be all together, and so something to look forward to there. Also, something to look forward to, which a viewer reminded me of from quite a while ago. I need to do my Talisker rundown, which is going to be coming up soon, hopefully next week. Speaking of Talisker and speaking of Glenmorangie, when I did my Glenmorangie 10 review, I was kind of an oversight on my part, which I was aware of, but most parts of the world, the Glenmorangie 10 is 40%, not 43%. So it's treated more as a mixer, which kind of makes sense because in this gift pack that they had, they give you, this glass here, which is more of a tumbler, which you would probably throw ice in or mix a drink with, as opposed to a Glencairn or a little tulip glass like this. But price-wise, okay, this was a 2018 packaging that I bought in 2019 for about $32, and still in my area you can find the Glenmorangie 10 for, it's closer to $42, but there's a couple of stores that it's upwards to $62 now. And there's basically 3 or 4 shops that I buy from in my area. When I first started my journey, I went crazy and I bought a lot through the Netherlands and through the UK, right? But now I have so much, I basically narrowed my focus, and I stick with like 3 or 4 stores that are within a reasonable travel distance from me. And one of those stores, Talisker 10. We're going to get into the review very quick, but you can fast forward if you want. But Talisker 10, which I can still find for $50, but in my area it was $45 to $60. Now there's one of those, my stores that I'm a loyal customer to. Talisker 10 is $100. And right next to it is Talisker 18 for $150. So to me, that doesn't make sense. But for Glenmorangie to double in price in 4 or 5 years, and now Talisker doubling in price in months, but only the 10-year. Now, I know in the UK, I've been hearing quite a bit in the rumblings in the last year that Talisker 18 has doubled in price like overnight. If you can find Springbank 10, you can find it for around 100 or less. So I don't know what's going on with Talisker 10, but we're going to do a whole tasting and decide what is the best Talisker. All right, finally, back to the review here. All right, let's get right into it. Okay. So again, I don't disagree with any of the tasting notes that I previously read. However, if I didn't read those, this is what the review would be. Vanilla, raw dough. Fruits, I'm getting a little bit of melon, some tropical fruits, a little bit of banana, and definitely that, they call it mandarin orange. I can't dispute that. Definitely mandarin orange peel is on the nose. I really enjoy this a lot. Viscous, thick, oily, creamy, bready, raw dough, vanilla cream. That mandarin orange is definitely there. Fruity, again, the bananas, tropical. Juicy fruit gum. The finish is long. Sweet, dry, slightly astringent. That just hangs on there with that orange effervescence. Effervescence. Write in the comments what that word is. Effervescence. Effervescence. That orange peel rind, orange note, just hangs on there forever. Gentle oak spice. Very well done. I'd be curious for the Anorex out there. It is a NAS, non-age stated. I don't know how old it is. To me, it tastes quite mature. It wouldn't surprise me if this is 9, 10, or 11 years old. And the price on this came out quite a while ago, but I can still find this for about $109. Okay, in today's market, I think that's a relative bargain. And then also, too, I went out to dinner a few weeks ago, and I was able to try the Glenmorangie 15-year-old Carbol Estates. I wasn't sure if it was batch 1 or batch 2. It's 15-year-old, 43% ABV. The retail on that is still about $90. Okay, and again, in today's market, that seems not a bad price, really. And I really enjoyed that. I'm almost tempted to pick up a bottle of that. That's how enjoyable it was. Not mind-blowing, but very enjoyable. And I was, drinking it at a pub with friends, having a nice meal. But yeah, I had that with a Guinness, and I really enjoyed the Glenmorangie 15-year-old Carbol Estates. And again, I think the price is good. So all things considered, this Allta, which is still available for $109, all the tales of the forest, tales of the cake, and all these kind of things, they're all about $100 as well, and they're all non-age stated, 46% ABV, whereas over here you get 51.2% ABV. So you get a bit more heft. I'm really enjoying the hell out of this. Yeah. For my enjoyment, this is an 88, 89 all day long. Okay. So the only, you're saying, John, how come you're not comparing it to the 10-year-old? Okay. So the 10-year-old, tasting it back to back with this, obviously I tasted it before I did this review, but I don't think it's distinctively different. What I do pick up on back to back is a lot more, not cocoa. There's a lot of cocoa in this Glenmorangie, where I didn't pick up on when I was doing my independent isolated review. So it's both of these in the same family. That's what I have to say about that. Jeff from Whisky did a great review on this Allta a while back, maybe a year or so ago. Check out his review. He did a great job on this. And watch his, compare it to mine, and then make up your own mind. Okay, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, thumbs up, like, subscribe, consider becoming a Patreon. And remember, folks, it's just whiskey. So hats off to you all, and take care. And the Talisker Rundown is going to be coming up soon, as well as a Glenmorangie sample kit rundown, as well as many other forthcoming reviews. Stay tuned. And here's the shirt, if you can figure it out.